maybe an hour at a time before waking in the dark, heart pounding, with no memory of a dream, just a sense of wrongness clinging to me like damp clothes. By the 5th night, I stopped pretending I wasn't afraid. It wasn't the kind of fear that made you scream or run. It was slower, more insidious, like something seeping into the gaps of your sanity. I started noticing patterns. The way the shadows moved against the walls didn't always match the lighthouse's rotation. The mirror in the small upstairs bedroom no longer showed my reflection when I passed it at night. Not always. Sometimes it showed something that looked like me, but wasn't me. Its smile a little too wide, its eyes a fraction too bright. The radio remained useless, a whispering storm of static and almost words. Once, I swear I heard my name among the noise, not once, but 3 times in a row, spoken in a voice that sounded like mine. I stopped using the mirror on the 7th day. I turned it toward the wall and covered it with a towel. But I could still hear it at night. Soft sounds like someone tapping on the glass from the other side. It was on the 9th day that I found the door. Not the front door. Not the vault. In the basement. This one was hidden behind a shelf in the kitchen. I knocked a jar of old coffee beans off the top shelf, and when I stooped to pick it up, I saw the edge of a frame, barely visible in the shadow. It was small, just big enough for a man to crawl through, made of iron and locked with a rusted padlock. I don't know what made me do it. Curiosity, boredom, or something darker. But I found a set of keys in the drawer under the radio, and the 3rd one fit. The door creaked open to reveal a tunnel, rough-hewn into the stone, sloping downward. A cold wind blew from it, carrying a smell that turned my stomach. Wet earth and something metallic like old blood. I lit a lantern and crawled in. I don't remember how far I went. Time doesn't move the same underground. But eventually I reached a chamber, circular, with smooth walls and a stone pedestal in the center. Something lay on it, something wrapped in oilcloth and twine. It pulsed. I didn't touch it. I turned and ran, scraping my hands and knees on the rough stone as I fled back to the kitchen, slammed the hidden door shut, and pushed the shelf back in place. I haven't gone back down. That was 3 days ago. Since then, the whispers have grown louder. The mirror shattered overnight, despite being faced toward the wall. My name keeps showing up in the logbook, even though I haven't written in it since day 6. Once, I saw someone standing on the edge of the rocks outside, tall, unmoving, staring at the lighthouse. When I blinked, they were gone. The beacon still works. Every night I flip the switch and watch the beam stretch out into the dark. It's the only thing that feels real anymore. The only thing, whatever this is, at bay. But I stayed huddled, in the dark, clutching Emergency Protocols Manual Jump 4 like a talisman. My knuckles were white, the brittle paper creaking beneath my grip. I didn't read the words. I couldn't. Not while the lighthouse groaned under the weight of something ancient and patient slithering just outside. The pounding stopped. Not gradually, not with warning. Just stopped. And with it, the false lighthouse's green light blinked out, swallowed by the sea as if it had never existed. Silence returned, thick and absolute. I waited. 5 minutes, 10, maybe an hour. Time had no weight here anymore. Eventually, I crept up the stairs, every step a betrayal of the instinct screaming for me to stay underground. When I emerged into the control room, nothing was out of place. The lantern sat in its cradle, the beam slicing calmly through the darkness like it always had. The windows were unbroken. No sign of the pounding, no slime, no cracks, no blood, except there was a small wet footprint just inside the threshold. A child's. It hadn't rained in days. The air tasted like rust and salt. That night, I didn't light the beacon out of duty or survival. I lit it because something was watching, and I needed it to know that I was still here, still aware, still playing the game, even if I no longer understood the rules. At the edge of a precipice, not just of sanity, but of something deeper, darker, an ancient chasm between the known and the unknowable. That whisper inside me, the same one that had saved me countless times over the past weeks, was not quiet now. It hissed urgently, "Don't open the door! Don't believe the masks!" I backed away from the lamproom window and made my way down the spiral stairs, every step feeling like it echoed through two worlds. The solid waking world of logic and the shifting eldritch realm of the island. As I reached the second floor, I paused beside the mirror, the one that once showed me the drowned faces. My own reflection stared back delayed, like a poorly synchronized video feed. My eyes in the mirror blinked a moment too late. I turned away, heart thudding. The pounding at the door continued, relentless. The voices called again. "David, your mother is sick. She needs you. Don't abandon her again. David, the storm's coming. We don't have time. Open up, now." I knew they'd say anything. They had before. Then something new. One of the figures outside laughed. Just once, quiet, subtle, but it didn't belong. The sound was off. Too melodic, too knowing. No real rescue team would be laughing now. I froze. The laugh had cracked the illusion. I fled downward, past the sealed supply room, into the basement where I'd first found the generator and the old charts. I threw the switch to activate emergency lockdown. A loud clank as metal shutters descended over the windows and doors, sealing me in darkness. The pounding above intensified, angry now, like fists turned to claws. The very walls seemed to shake in fury. I huddled by the humming generator, gripping the cold metal and whispering to myself, "This is the test. This is the test." Upstairs, glass shattered. Footsteps, no wet slaps, echoed through the lighthouse. Had they gotten in? Was I hallucinating again? I didn't know. But I stayed where I was. I stayed hidden. Eventually, the noise faded. Silence fell once more, thick and unnatural, the kind of silence that waits. When I finally climbed back up, hours later the lighthouse was empty again. No sign of intrusion, no broken glass. The door untouched, only a scrap of paper tucked under the lamproom door, written in my own handwriting. Trust the fear. It remembers what the mind forgets. I didn't remember writing it, but I believed every word. The ship was gone, the fog had thickened, and the lighthouse beam burned again, steady and unwavering. Whatever they were, rescuers, monsters, or figments of a crumbling psyche, they had tested me. And I had passed.